Attention all IELTS Band 7 students. Are you ready to showcase your storytelling and recording skills? We are excited to announce a storytelling and recording competition of the beloved classic, The Three Musketeers. This competition is open to all IELTS students with Band 7 who have a strong passion for literature and narration. Your task is to record a 2-minute excerpt from the book. Bring in the enchanting characters and captivating story to life. Let your imagination and creativity run wild, and give it your best shot to win exciting prizes. We look forward to hearing your entries and discovering the magic of the Three Musketeers through your recordings. Thank you.
The Three Musketeers. Chapter 1. The ugliest horse in the world. When D'Artagnan left home, his father gave him 3 things: 15 gold coins, a letter of introduction to the captain of Musketeers in Paris, and a remarkably ugly yellow horse. Everywhere D'Artagnan went, people noticed his horse. Then they noticed a sword hanging from his belt and decided to keep their horse to themselves. Just outside Paris, D'Artagnan came to a little pub called the Jolly Miller and met a man who couldn't help laughing at the ridiculous animal. "Have you seen that creature?" the man guffed for his friend. "It's as yellow as a buttercup." D'Artagnan was young and proud, and he couldn't let an insult go unchallenged. "Mock my horse," he snarled, "and you mock me. I challenge you to a duel, sir." They laughed, and for the first time, D'Artagnan noticed a red scare which drained the lash of his cheek. "Our duel," he scoffed. "Surely you know that the king has banned them." D'Artagnan wouldn't be put off. He drew his sword and lunged for the man. The stranger quickly pulled out his own sword just before the fight could begin. The D'Artagnan felt something heavier. The back of his head. This parade to stop the fight. The payment has knocked him out. When the D'Artagnan woke, his head throbbed painfully. He looked around and saw the scared man talking to a woman inside a horse-drawn carriage. "You must go back to England, Milady de Winter," the scared man told the woman. "Inform the cardinal as soon as the Duke leaves London." The man spurred his horse, and before D'Artagnan could stop him, he'd galloped. In the distance, "Blast him!" D'Artagnan cried. "No, I shall never avenge his insult." His voice died out as he got a close look at Milady's face. She had golden hair, huge blue eyes, and rose red lips, and D'Artagnan thought she was the most beautiful woman he'd ever seen. "Milady," he said. For one moment her eyes met his. Then she gave a quiet command, and the carriage sped off into the distance. D'Artagnan started after it, wondering if he would ever see her again. Chapter 2. The Three Musketeers. The following day, D'Artagnan was in Paris. His eyes wide as he rode through the street. He had never seen a city so grand, bustling with people and lined with imposing houses built from golden stone. Soon he was at the house of Mr. de Treville, the captain of the king's Musketeers, the most famous soldiers in France. For as long as he could remember, D'Artagnan had wanted nothing more than to serve in that elite force. "Mr. de Treville might be able to spare you a few minutes," said the servant who answered the door, sniffing disapprovingly as he studied D'Artagnan's shabby clothes. D'Artagnan swallowed nervously, but he held his head high as he walked into the room. Mr. de Treville was wearing a frown so fierce he could have curdled milk. He ignored D'Artagnan completely and instead bellowed, "Athos, Porthos, Aramis, come in and see me at once." 2 men rushed into the room. Porthos was tall with a long black mustache and even longer nose. which he gazed at everyone around him. Aramis was smaller and thinner, and his face was innocent as a child's. "I hear you have been dueling with the Cardinal's guard," the Trevor snapped, "and worse than that, you lost. What do you have to say for yourself?" "It's true we were defeated," Aramis said indignantly, "but that's because we were outnumbered and taken by surprise." "Athos was very badly injured," Porthos explained as the third musketeer entered. "Athos was older than his two friends and would have been strikingly handsome if he hadn't been so pale." "Nonsense," he declared. "It was just a scratch, but his lips were stained with pain." "I suppose you did your best," the Trevor said reluctantly. "Just don't get caught by that again." The three musketeers bowed and left. "And what do you want?" the Trevor asked D'Artagnan, seeming to notice him for the first time. "I want to join the musketeers," D'Artagnan declared, though inside he was filled up with certainty. How could he even match up to the man he had just seen? The Trevor seemed to feel the same. "An experienced boy like you joined the most famous regiment in France," he scoffed. "Now if you want to become a musketeer, you must first prove yourself worthy of our uniform." Just then, D'Artagnan closed a man's arm at the Trevor windows. This was the scary stranger who has laughed at his heart without even calling goodbye. D'Artagnan ran out after the man. D'Artagnan was moving so fast and his attention was fixed so firmly on the stranger that he didn't see Athos until he pumped right into the watches. "You fool!" shouted Athos. "Who are you calling for?" D'Artagnan said indignantly. "Are you the one in the way? I'm not a man to take an injured lying down." Athos laughed heartily. Thus his hands were clutched to his side in pain. I demand that you meet me by the deserted monastery for a duel at noon tomorrow. D'Artagnan could him upward the man with the scar, who was in danger of disappearing into the road. "Fine," he says, "tomorrow I'll teach you some manners." Then he ran out, eyes still fixed on the man his were pursuing rather than the people around him. This time Porthos stood in his way. D'Artagnan found himself tangled in the older man's magnificent clothes, revealing the red pair clothes Porthos were wearing underneath. You young whispered Nesbit, Porthos below, "You'll make me look ridiculous." I demand satisfaction. The crowds were at the deserted monastery as one tomorrow. D'Artagnan didn't even answer. He simply nodded and carried on running after the stranger. It was no use. The older man has made good his escape. Brother D'Artagnan exclaimed, "I lost my quarry and offended the stranger. I really must try to be more civil in future." So when he passed Aramis, D'Artagnan decided to be as friendly as possible. "Shall it appear your throat something?" he said, picking up a handkerchief from the crowd beside Aramis. Aramis was furious, and the handkerchief has been given to him by a female admiral, and he'd been hoping to keep his secret. "Interfere with my penis, will you?" he snapped at D'Artagnan. "I soon teach you better when I declare you in a duel at 2 o'clock tomorrow. Be waiting at the deserted monastery." Shoulders slumped. D'Artagnan clung back to his clutching. He's come to Paris to make his fortune, and instead he made 3 daily new enemies. 3 duels before tea. "Are you alone?" Athos asked D'Artagnan, when the two men met the following day. "It hardly seems right to kill a man who doesn't have a friend in the world." "I'm the only one who should feel guilty," said D'Artagnan, fighting a duel with an injured man. It was true that Athos still looked well, his face as white as the cloud, excluding a dark sky, and his arm were glued to his wounded side. "I tell you what," D'Artagnan offered, "why don't I let you have some of my mother's special ointment? You can put it on your wounds, and when you're feeling better, we'll meet again for our duel." Athos was impressed with his gallantry and very noble. "Sure, but even injured as I am, you won't find me uneasy much." D'Artagnan bowed and drew his sword. Before the duel could begin, two more men arrived, Porthos and Aramis. "You're early," D'Artagnan exclaimed. "It's an hour before I'm due to fight Porthos and another 2 hours until I'm meeting Aramis." "Hold on," Athos said. "You've both arranged duel with this man, so it's good up here," Porthos said. "He must be a very hot-tempered fellow." "Well, when I'm through with him, I'm afraid there won't be much left for you to fight," Athos said. He leaned towards to D'Artagnan, and they shall meet with a metallic clang. "Halt!" a voice shouted. "Those are against the law." It was the Cardinal's guards, leaders of the Cardinal, the king's right-hand men. They despise the Musketeers and were delighted to have found an excuse or arrest one. "You're not taking Athos without a fight," Porthos declared, as he and Aramis drew their own swords. D'Artagnan looked between the groups. The Cardinal's guards, who had probably just saved his life, and the Musketeers, who had been planning to take it. "If there's going to be a fight," he said, "there's only one side I can take, the King's Musketeers." He flourished his sword, and as he went to stand beside Athos, Porthos, and Aramis, there were 5 guards and 4 of them, but D'Artagnan was fighting beside 3 of the finest swordsmen in the land. Aramis struck faster than lightning, and thrust his sword into his opponent's heart. Another guard cried out as Porthos plunged his blade through his leg. Athos fought hard as well, but his wound slowed him down. D'Artagnan leaped forward, putting his own body between the guard's sword and Athos' chest. In a second he disarmed the guard and killed Athos. The fight was over. D'Artagnan and the 3 Musketeers were on their feet, but all 5 guards lay on the ground. Athos turned to smile at D'Artagnan. "I think I shall have to call off our duel. It doesn't seem right to kill a man who's just saved my life." Aramis and Porthos nodded their agreement. "It was a privilege to fight by your side," D'Artagnan said, bowing. "From now on, we should always stick together, one for all and all for one." "That's what I said." The 3 Musketeers liked this new motto very much. All for one, they chorus, one and one for all.
Thank you for your listening. Let's vote and share for us on Team Phục English Central fanpage. Goodbye.